Greetings, it's Vanessa-Mary, your favourite holistic wellbeing healer. I am coming back with another episode of Leading with Heart. This is my weekly podcast series, which is all about sharing the stories of real leaders in my life and in my network. So this podcast is designed to lift the curtain behind real lives. So some of you know the individuals that I am presenting here, but also we're talking about their stories of courage, compassion, conviction, and we are really exploring what it means to lead with heart. So this is within our business, within our home, and also within ourselves. Each week, we're sitting down with inspiring individuals. Like I said, they're part of my network, but do you know what? They're building legacy. They are rooted in authenticity. They've got emotional intelligence, and they are leading with passion and purpose. So expect honest conversation, meaningful stories, and powerful takeaways. So as we are here to support you to really showcase how running a business impacts not only our life, but raising our family, and also how we are shaping communities around us. Because leadership isn't perfect, but it is about being present. And today I am delighted to introduce you to a woman that I have known for a number of years. She supported my business for a number of years. She's definitely at the center of my community. Let's bring her on. It's Annette Griffin. Here she comes. She's a utility warehouse partner and a very inspirational woman and an expert. She's definitely an expert in community service, not community services, customer services. Get it right, Vanessa. But community services as well. How are you, Annette?
I'm really well, Vanessa-Mary, and thank you for inviting me today.
It's not a problem. I'm just checking. I can see that I've got a green light there on LinkedIn. So everything seems to be streaming really well over there. And of course, as I've said, we are also streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So how has your weekend been?
Do you know, I've had a fantastic weekend.
Good.
You know, I've been ill recently, like that, and I'd achieved a sort of treat from the company. So we went to Nebworth House, and it was like a mini festival. There was fairground attractions, bands playing, food, drink, face painting, just everything. And because I haven't been able to walk properly for ages or anything like that, and I've been, I wasn't even sure I could walk around it or dance or anything. And I did. And I had the most fantastic time of my life. And it's like, yes, you don't let things get you down. And then the next night, I went to another party, did some more dancing. And there was somebody from another networking group. And he went, Annette, have you been lying about your legs all this time? I went, no, but I've got the old me back.
Oh, that's such a fantastic story, because I know that when I've seen you, even up to last week, you were telling me how you're feeling better. But I interviewed you, I think it was in April. You were on the group chat that we did where we were showcasing exhibitors, and you did express on that call that you weren't feeling too well. So it's really good to hear that you are getting stronger every day. I must say that my my rising routine has changed today. I've started my day with Pilates. I've actually had a one-to-one session with the Pilates teacher, so I'm going to give her a shout out. So shout out to Core Essentials with Christiana. It was absolutely amazing. And then I've taken a short walk as well just before I've come on here. So I know what you mean in terms of, we've got to get ourselves moving, and it is about how we're feeling about ourselves. So yeah. So, Annette, as I've explained to you in the green room, this podcast is really around a conversation about the SEEDS framework. So the SEEDS framework, as I explained to you, and I'll just let the audience know, we're talking about sales, supportive network, emotional well-being, enterprise development, decisions, discussion, and accountability. And then we will look at succession planning. So, Annette, before we do all of that, just give the audience a little bit of a background about yourself, who you are, and what you do, please.
Okay, well, I've been in business, sort of self-employed for, I think, about 16 years now. And I started off, actually, I got divorced through domestic violence. And, you know, I remember sitting in the lounge afterwards thinking, well, I can either sit there and feel sorry for myself or just get on with life. And I've got on with life. And that's what I've done every single point. I've had lots of ups and downs, don't get me wrong. But, you know, I've just developed as a person. I've had lots of personal development, the people that you meet and everything like that. It's just helped me grow my business. I've been doing utility warehouse for over 11 years now. And the people I've met through networking and through UW has been, they really, really helped me. It's like having a really big family, and as well as obviously my own family and friends who are really, really important to me, as you know. And the different things that I've done over the years. So that's one of the things, apart from hairdressing, that's remained constant. Everything else I've tried, I thought, no, that's not me. Let's move on. Because I think you should be really happy in life and be passionate about what you do. So I've always tried to do that, have that in life and be passionate about everything.
Okay, that's great. Now, for anybody who hasn't heard of them, do you just want to tell us what is who is Utility Warehouse?
Okay, so utility warehouse, I help people to save money. And, you know, and there was lots of people who, you know, who doesn't want to save on the bills and have a little bit more money, you know, whether it's be just to pay the bills to survive, or whether it's a little bit more than that, or whether it's for fun money or the providing for the future. And what I also do is show people how to earn an additional income above and beyond what they're doing. Again, it's providing that for the, you know, themselves, their family. You know, it's a willable asset. So it's helping people to change their lives as much or as little as they want.
Excellent. So I'm speaking as a customer of Utility Warehouse. I've been a customer for, I don't know, quite a few, about 6 years or so. So, yeah, I have been using the service. I do need to get back to using my cashback
You
card,
do,
but I must say that's only because I lost my purse at the beginning of the year, and I just haven't. Not only haven't I ordered that one, but some other famous brands where we use their cards in their shop, I haven't ordered theirs either in that, and it's so annoying because I'm missing out on lots of opportunities to save
you are.
money.
You are.
So
I mean,
it's going to be going on my.
Sorry, I
Say that
just said
again.
the average family can save £441 a year just by using that cashback card, just for the normal shopping. So you are missing out on a fair bit of free money.
Wow, free money. Everybody likes free money. I must say, I don't really like to go shopping, but I have been doing some shopping lately. But yeah, things to do list. I'm going to put it on because there are about 3 other shops that, you know, when they say if you've got your card, then the member price is, well, because I don't have the cards, I'm missing out. So yeah. But we're going to talk about supportive network now. And before we go into that deeper, I just want to thank you for being a committed member of the network that I'm building. So this isn't just within the Seeds community, but also, you know, that I host networking events on behalf of our local networking group with the 4N community. And you have been a center of both of those communities for me as an event organizer. So I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for just stepping up, showing up. You know, I did a talk last week, didn't I, about community, and I was talking about how we need to be committed.
Yeah, you really were. You got everybody involved. We're all wanting to go. Can I say? Can I speak? You know?
Yeah. But no, thank you so much for being such an amazing member of the community. So do you want to talk to us about what a supportive community or supportive network, or you could use the word community, what that looks like for you, please, Annette?
For me, it's about helping each other. You know, we all have our ups and down moments and like that. So, you know, I know if I felt a little bit emotional and down, I could phone you up and say, Vanessa-Mary, you know, and you'd help me, vice versa. But also, when you've got some exciting news to share, it's really great to share with people that are like-minded. You know, so we could all encourage each other and praise and everything. And you know, when I went to your season of unlimited success, the 2 years running, I mean, the first time it was so emotional. You know, the love and the warmth in that room was absolutely unbelievable. You know, and obviously second year as well. So you know, I recommend anybody going to it. And obviously we both do the same networking as well. And it's like having our little family, our little community. You know, we meet together. You know, and it's about getting to know each other, because it's not all about doing business, going in for the kill. It isn't that. It's about relationships and getting to know people. And then when you get to know people, you want to help them, don't you? And that's what it's about for me.
And I love what you said there. You touched on the word family. Now, obviously, most individuals who are coming into contact with me, they know that I specialize in supporting mums and dads and grandmas and granddads who are in business. Because for me, I fit into the category of being a mum, and I'm also a grandmother as well. But my enterprise is very important to me because on so many different levels, it's what I want to do. But essentially, building a legacy for my family is at the heart of what's driving me. So I love to work with individuals who are a family unit. And I agree with you, Annette, that when we come together, it does feel like family because of all the small touch points that we have over the course of the year. And you're right, you know, being in business, having our business isn't just about sales. We do have the ups and downs of life. So to be able to reach out to someone and just have a conversation and, you know, just share, just offload, I feel is very, very important. So thank you for raising that. And thank you for being an exhibitor with us for 2 years straight. How amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those, you know,
Brilliant.
events.
Well, you know, I feel that you have got such a gift for customer services, and that's something, you know, the S for the first part of the framework does stand for support network, and it now stands for sales. But within sales, I want to take us a bit further and talk about customer services. Would you like to expand on that, Annette? Because I know that's been your expertise for many years now.
It has actually, you know, and I believe customer service is the key to everything. If you don't give great customer service, you know, you're never ever going to get anywhere. You have to think about what's in it for them, not what's in it for you. You know, and listening, a good part of that customer service being a really good listener and sort of repeating back what they've said, just to make sure that you're totally understanding each other, and then going over and above and beyond to be able to help them, you know, achieve whatever they want to, whatever they need. Um, so I've always done that, you know. And you know, my years of when I was a hairdresser, my customers used to say to me, "Oh, you could sell ice to an Eskimo," Annette. But I said, yes, but the only reason is because I am passionate about the things, and only do it because I know it will benefit you, or I can really, truly, truly recommend it. You know, it's no point saying, oh, just get buy this, it'll, you know, really help you. That's not me. That's not great customer service.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. It's about understanding the individual that you're in front of. And sometimes we have to turn down the sale essentially
Yeah.
because we're not a good fit for them for whatever reason. It could be the product or service that we offer, or we just know we feel that somebody within our network would be able to service that customer better for different reasons. So I think sometimes we need to know, and that's for me part of customer service, to be able to say, I'd love to introduce you to this man or this woman in my network, because I know that they can basically give you maybe what I'm not able to offer, because that's not my area of specialism.
Very true, Vanessa. It is every time, because you have to do what is best for your customer.
Excellent. Thank you, Annette. So let's now talk about emotional well-being. And this question is really around your emotional well-being as a mum, as a grandmother, and you are a foster mother as well. So you've got big emotions that are being spread across your family and also for your clients as well. So how do you look after your emotions, Annette?
It is hard fitting me in, but I also think, you've got to be well yourself before you can help other people. And as you know, I love my family and my grandkids. They mean absolutely everything to me. And obviously a foster daughter as well now. She's like having another daughter. So that's really lovely. We get on. And my customers, they're like my family. They've become my family over the years, because I try and treat everybody the same. I just think the world is a much nicer place if everybody was the same. Nobody sort of wanting to do evil or backstab you or anything like that. Just be upfront, honest, and treat everybody the same. And that's my motto in life, really. Just to be the best person that I can be. But I do know, because I have neglected myself, because that's why I fell ill, that you do have to put yourself first sometimes to maintain your health. And that's an important part for me, a journey that I've learned and I've been dealing with. And now I make time for me instead of putting everybody else in front, first.
Yeah, I mean, you do need to put on your own life jacket first. So even the article that I wrote last week, I've got a newsletter that goes out on LinkedIn called Legacy Leaders. And last week's article was literally about, okay, we're running our family businesses, but it doesn't have to be at the expense of ourselves. Effectively, we will burn out. And I start the conversation saying you need to put your own life jacket on first. It's not selfish. I mean, myself today, I've woken up. I know that my son has been cared for with his father. I have focused on my emotional well-being, which is my routine that I have. And then, like I said, I've tried something new with Pilates and it was brilliant. Like my body, there was one of the stretches. Well, it wasn't really stretch. It was like an exercise that we did. But because I've got tightness in my hip, I could just feel, I even said to the instructor, oh, this feels amazing. And then I went for a walk. All of that is part of, for me, emotional well-being. So the physical exercise that we do has a positive impact on our well-being, because it automatically will help us to feel good with the chemicals that are being released in our body. So I love to talk about this within the community, because my specialism is really supporting people with that emotional healing. It's not something that we feel that we can just overlook. We cannot put a plaster on it either, because essentially it will come through in our business. It will start to seep through if we feel that, the different things that we've gone through in our personal life are not going to show up. People can sense this. So this is where I like to support individuals, particularly mums and dads in business, to really focus on that emotional well-being, because everything's about balance. Once we've got the balance, then we can get into alignment. Once we've got that alignment, we're actually activating things that we're wanting to bring into our life, our family, and also our enterprise. So yeah, someone said it's like holistic ecstasy, and I was like, oh, I like that. So yes, especially it was Caroline. It was Caroline. You know, our beloved Caroline. I told her last week, and
Yeah,
she went, "Oh, that's like holistic ecstasy," and I was like, "Oh, yes." So if you want any emotional holistic ecstasy, come and tune in with me.
yeah,
Okay, so, so we're going to talk now about enterprise development. And within this, can you tell us about your journey in business? You said that it's been 12 years with Utility Warehouse, but you said 16 years
yeah.
self-employment. What has that looked like for you?
I my other longest job, apart from Utility Warehouse, has been hairdressing and lecturing assessing, and so that's what I started off doing. Um, and I built a business up from scratch. I remember somebody saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to Canada. Why don't you have my clients go and get yourself trained?" Because I was always playing with hair and things like that. So I did. Anyway, she hadn't gone to Canada by the time I finished. And I said, okay, I'll just start it all off myself. And I never had to go advertising or anything. It was just through referrals, word of mouth, recommendations that I grew my business. And it should have been the same with Utility Warehouse as well. But over the years, it's just developed more and more and more. It was just health reasons. Years of doing hairdressing, they kill your shoulders and back at the end of the week. So, you know, I realised actually I couldn't carry on doing that full time. So Utility Warehouse was always in the background. It was my plan B to become my plan A. And obviously during lockdown, it became my plan A much sooner. And now it's sort of only do a tiny bit of hairdressing and I do more of this, so and I love it because I'm just helping people, giving them choices in life, saving them some money, and and who else can they sort of recommend and things like that might want to benefit from some or all of it. So yeah, that's sort of me. I've for a while I actually did do things. It was like, do what you have. This is Oprah Winfrey. Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. And I did have that mantra for a little while like that. But actually, the bits that I was doing because I had to until I do what I want to do, I thought, I'm not enjoying those little bits. So I need to change things. So I only did what I wanted to do until I could do and totally what I want to do. So it's really important to enjoy, your business, your life, and whatever you do and whatever you choose.
No, I agree with you. I mean, for myself, I was working at the university, as you know, part time for 7 years while I was really essentially putting down the foundations of what I'm
Yeah,
doing today. And I listened to another woman speaking about this, and she said, well, actually, your part time job, or even some people are working full time and starting their business as a part-time venture, then your employment becomes the investor in your business. You know, we all need an investor, whether we are, I know you said word of mouth marketing, but you would have still had equipment to buy, you would have still had things to pay out for, which that needs funding. So,
yeah,
essentially, I
yeah,
think that yes, it's fantastic to have a plan, like you said. If it was always the goal to really do more of what you're doing now and phase out the hairdressing, then that's great. But anybody listening, if you do have a part-time job or a full-time job and you're wanting to get into setting up your enterprise, don't feel ashamed of it, because there are so many who are literally having that, like I said, as a private investor. There's nothing wrong with that.
there isn't. I still have a part-time paid job, you
Mm.
know, and for me, that's my little bit of security net. So I can have fun with everything else that I do. That's been really important to me. As it is, my part-time job is I work for the company, so
You
I do the
do.
customer service every single day.
Doing
So,
customer services. That's why I said that for me, you are a
yeah,
customer service expert, because it's something that I know those skills you brought in from hairdressing, then you've got that relationship with your HQ within the company, and then you're developing your enterprise, which, as you said, is all about customer services, as you are. Because most of this, I know they do it differently now, Utility Warehouse, because you've got the fantastic presentation. But when I signed up as a customer, the woman I signed up with, she actually came into my home. So having somebody in your home, that's like a very personal thing for people.
Yeah, the beauty of that is now that there is the choice. So for those that want, I'll come into the home, I'll sit and have a cup of tea with them and a chat. Those that are like busy and don't want to do that, then we do it over the internet and WhatsApp video, because it's like being there. And I'll just say, get yourself a cup of tea ready, and we'll sit and have a chat and see what we can save you. But then also for a business opportunity for somebody to start their own business, like you said, I set up hairdressing. The amount of money I spent, and I had a salon as well, I spent setting that up. It's a £10 business opportunity for UW, and the potential to earn, even like a couple of thousand in your first month is absolutely great. What could you do with that income?
That's incredible. So there's a couple of things I want to go back to. We're talking about enterprise development, so this is all relevant. The first one I want to go back to is technology, and how technology has really supported entrepreneurs to expand and expand quickly. And I do feel that it's something that we shouldn't overlook. So the example that came to my mind, and it's only because I feel like my body's like, oh, what did you do with me earlier on today? It feels so nice. So I'm still thinking about Pilates. I'm still thinking about Christiana. But Christiana, I don't even know where she lives. She lives like really far away from me. But what we were using the internet. We were using the laptop to the point where she could see, because I put the laptop on the floor. She could actually give me direction. She could see, it was just my first class. So she could, correct my posture and things like that. That is technology. Going back to Utility Warehouse, I know how things have changed because I've met you. I've seen another rep in action. He did a presentation somewhere, and I was thinking, wow, the fact a company like that is really using technology to reach more people. So again, we definitely need to embrace technology.
We do. We can't manage without it now, can we? And
Not at all.
Anybody in the UK now, you can go and have a coffee with somebody in Cornwall or Scotland, and you're not leaving your own lounge.
And that's incredible, because it means that for yourself, you're meeting friends across the UK.
I have lots of friends all over, and it's actually quite nice because we get to become friends. It's like, oh, do you want to come and stay for a bit? So you can explore parts of the country that you've never been to before.
Yeah, excellent. So again, in terms of enterprise development, I've written down the word empowerment, and I am feeling that that's something we can talk about, particularly with yourself. And I know the model that Utility Warehouse is in terms of the business model. You are giving other people an opportunity to be empowered through enterprise as well, aren't you?
Absolutely. Like I say, it's a £10 business opportunity, but they've got the potential to earn as much or as little as they want. And we had one in our team. He achieved like group leader in 11 months at that,
Okay.
which is a record for the company. And we worked out he must have, and he works full time in the NHS, especially as nurse, has a family, lots of hobbies. And we worked out he must have earned over £40,000 on top of what he was earning.
Wow,
Now,
what a lifestyle shift.
exactly. And then one of his team, he did the same thing and gave up his job totally in 9 months, like that. So it's just about your mindset, setting your mindset to be focused, of knowing what goals you want to achieve and learning the way to achieve them. And that's what it's great for. The personal development has been absolutely amazing. I mean, because years ago, I wouldn't say boo to a goose. I remember applying for a sales promoter job, and my mum saying, what are you applying for one like that for, Annette? You don't talk. And I went, I can if I want to. And I told him that, and I got the job. So I was a sales promoter travelling up and down the country. Well and truly at my comfort zone, started my journey in I can do.
Again, empowerment, I agree with you. It is about the state of mind first,
Yeah,
because we can actually talk ourselves out of things. I was coaching on Saturday in the weekend wellbeing retreat. And it was funny because I asked a question which was related to self-care, but the answer that I received was really about how the individual was feeling about herself in terms of her self-worth, her self-doubt. So it's very interesting. It is about mindset. We had to then, the point what I'm making is we then had to do some mindset coaching around, why are you feeling like that? And we ended up with a lovely little plan at the end of it. But no, this leads us really neatly into the next part of the framework, which is the D. So this D is standing for decisions, discussion, and accountability. So again, going back to the topic where we've just left about mindset, our mindset can lead us into positive decisions, which are going to move us forward in life and in business, or negative, well, not necessarily negative, but maybe you're not making a decision. You're not making a decision, which means that nothing changes.
exactly.
And
It only changes.
sometimes it gets worse.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Do you want to talk to us about some of the key decisions that you've made in your life? I mean, you actually started the conversation saying that you had a divorce. Unfortunately, it was not a very good relationship with domestic violence being involved, but you made a key decision. Did you want to expand on that and tell us about other decisions you've made in your life?
Yeah, through all
Key
that. I mean,
decisions.
yeah, I was at that time. I was going through doing a degree in teaching as well. So I think that's probably what kept me sane at the time because I had something else to focus on around what was happening with me. Um, for me, I had to be able to focus on something that was really, really good, not the bad things that were happening in my life. And you know, uh, my ex, he was a bully, everything, and I used to think, and I remember just thinking, I'm not letting anybody dictate or bully to me ever, ever again. I'm in control of what happens. And so I started gaining confidence and doing a little bit more. And I know when I got divorced, my friends would say to me, "Oh, that's brave." I went, "No, it's not brave. It's actually scary, you know, but I have to do it because in life you've got to be happy. You really have to be. And yes, I've had some tough times, and I'm having greater times now. But it's through sheer hard work and determination. Um, I remember when I was sort of hairdressing, raising my son and my family, going through my degree and everything, and the wholesalers would say to me, "How many jobs you got this week?" And 4 or 5, and oh, I'm lucky, I'm down to 4 this week. And I seriously worked my butt off, excuse the word, because I wanted my son to have for us to live in a nice area, to feel safe, and to be able to have a holiday as well. So, you know, rightly or wrongly, that's what I chose to do. And then, I've I have gone for jobs out of my comfort zone totally because you need to step out your comfort zone to grow. Um, and and I've grown to like things, and I've actually become not afraid to speak out if I don't agree with something. It's not about having an argument; it's about having a discussion and putting your viewpoints forward. And you know, my sister, I think, is super confident and everything like that. She thinks I'm the confident one. She's got the great high-powered job, and she thinks it's me. And I went, no, it's not. It's you. But it is just about feeling comfortable with yourself and the decisions that you've made, whether they're good or bad decisions, because you don't always make the right decision because we're all human, but living with it. And then if it's not the right decision, changing it. And that's the most important thing. I mean, during lockdown, I got a job in a supermarket because I was on my own. My son had left by that point, and I wanted to just talk to people. Um,
Yeah.
it was the most horrendous job I've ever had. I'd never go work in that particular supermarket again. But
Wow.
it taught me some life skills,
Hmm.
in the house before. So again, it's just about, and now, like I say, I only go for jobs that, if it do things that I really want to do, not what I have to do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, Annette, because I mean, I don't actually like to say the word negative, to be quite honest with you, because I feel that we're going to learn a lesson in that. So I love the word positive because for me, that's about moving forward.
Yeah,
But I think we probably need to express it different because there isn't any right or wrong because the decision was yours to make in the first
it was.
place. That's for me is about free will. You know, we've all got free will. We can do what we want, particularly when we are adults and we feel like I want to go down this path or I want to go down that path. So sometimes we go down a certain route and it didn't turn out how you wanted it to. Let's put it that way. So, what were the lessons that you can take forward and apply in either a different situation where it's relevant or a similar situation where you actually say, oh, I kind of know what's going to happen here because I've been in this situation before. So I'm going to actually reframe my language because I think the word negative is a bit, I think we're just going to like explore it. It's about life lessons because life is for living. And I do feel that that's how we grow.
Yeah, life definitely is for living.
Yeah.
And because of the experiences that I've had in my life, I do see other people sort of, going to go down a similar route. And I want to reach out to them and say, just step back a minute. Let me tell you a few things. Even like my foster daughter, but that, she's sort of going through college and it was sort of, and she didn't particularly like college when she moved in with me, but I persuaded her to stay and just finish the course. And then she wants to go on to the armed forces course, and but she needs the exam results. So through just speaking to her, that when she say, "I'm not going to college today, I don't feel well," and I said, "Oh, I think that's a good decision. Uh, you need it for your attendance and things like that." Anyway, had a few conversations. She'll go, "You're disappointed with me, aren't you?" And I go, "Yes, no, or a little bit." And that's all I have to say. But it's like she's changed. She's finished her exams now, and she's gone and got a job, and she's traveling around independently, because that was what my role was, to teach her to be independent. And I see
Mm.
how she's grown, and I think we should have somebody like me when I was that
I
age.
know. And I've met your foster daughter because she attended the event with your granddaughter and she's a really lovely young woman. And I love the fact that she was confident enough to come to the front when you introduced your family. I thought that was brilliant. But yeah, you've touched on the word discussion there. So now really wanted to bring back to you as a business owner about the discussions that you've had and how accountability plays a role in your business and how you're developing yourself there.
Yeah, I'm accountable to myself. I set the goals and things I want to do, but I also have an accountability buddy, because it's important to have somebody who's got the same ethos, the same inspirational things, up and downs, that you can have your good and your bad days shared with that. So for me, that's really important, because you encourage and inspire each other. I have got lots, but lots of friends actually, sort of within the business, we talk to about things, but just my few playing favourites, and it's great that we can talk about things openly and help each other. And then sorry, what else did you say? I've gone off track a bit there, Vanessa.
No, it's fine because I was actually thinking, I don't use the word specifically about training, but I know within your business model, there will be
Yeah,
lots of training opportunities for you, won't there? Or,
there is. There's
yeah,
always, you
yeah.
can tap in, and it is about, you don't just need to do things once. You need to do it over and over again, so it becomes
Okay.
nature to you. So I get lots of sort of help from that. There's lots of trainings that I go to, and it sort of motivates and inspires you as well.
Yes. I'm just actually thinking to myself on my next interview, I think I'll expand on the word training for the very fact that as we know, the event that I organise, it is about the network coming together, the community. We hear the inspirational speakers, but the individual workshops that people can go and do, for me, that gives them an opportunity to work on their business, not just working in their business, and really take lessons from other leaders that they can then apply into the business. Which workshops did you do this year, Annette? I've not actually checked in with you. I'll use the opportunity now.
Yeah. Do you know, I'm really disgusted with myself because I didn't get to do any of the workshops. I sat listening in the main room all day
Oh,
because
okay.
actually I really enjoyed that and listening to
Yeah.
everybody speaking. And then I went a little bit out to my store. Then obviously I got my granddaughter and daughter.
Yeah, you
So
were busy.
I was busy. So I do
You were
apologise.
busy with your family. No, don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to talk about succession planning, and we've spoken about your family again there. So just tell us about, what you're doing and what the future is possibly gonna, what does it look like for you, and how does your family fit into that?
Yeah, it's my big why is my family and my grandkids. Absolutely love and adore them, and I want to be able to because I worked a lot while my son was growing up because I had to. You know, I want to be able to treat them and do things with them and take them on holidays and things like that. You know, they're my big why. The one thing my son did throw in my face was, "You worked, Mom. You at work all the time." But what did you expect me to do? I had to. So that's what I want to change differently. Although he works a lot now with the same ethos, providing for his family. And that is important. You do that.
It,
But it's about choices now in life, being able to say yes and no to things and being able to, oh, let's go and do this, let's go and do that. And it's not perfect for me yet. I'm still working on it. But I love the fact that I can have choices and I can do things. So that's what I want more of.
wow. I mean, I do feel the world that we live in as well. Um, Put it this way, if we don't go to work, like what type of life are we going to have? And I feel that, obviously it's down to us, going back to the decision making. And you spoke about goals yourself at the beginning, that when you set a goal for yourself, then, that's really what you're working towards. So for you now,
Yeah.
like you said, you're in a different stage with your is it granddaughters? I know I met one of, is it
Two
granddaughters you've
granddaughters,
got?
grand-
Yeah, two granddaughters. Yeah, exactly. So, then you can have fun. And like you said, if it's more for the lifestyle that you want to live with them, and then that's really good. I want to ask you about team building. So I know there's a team building opportunity within your business. Is that something that you're focused on as well within your
oh, yeah,
opportunity?
what I'm really focused on is building a team because,
Yeah.
that's the bigger picture. Um, so yeah, and the thing is, we give them all the mentoring, training, and support, so they're allowed to grow at their own pace. I do all the first, and then when they get more confident, they add a few little words in until they're so. Team culture is absolutely massive, and
Mm.
that's I'm looking for really really busy people. That because you'll say ask a busy person, they're the ones that would will do that, that will take on the extra, and whether it is that they want to do it themselves, and earn a big extra income, or whether it is they're really busy, don't have time to do it, but actually would like to sort of be what we call a connector now. So just pass the business on, and we both do. We just split the commission. I do the work. It just comes into their bank account. Who wouldn't want that?
Because the
So
reason why I'm asking you that is because for me, succession planning is also about the things that are driving us now, that we can
yeah,
benefit from those things in the future. So, for
yeah,
example, somebody who writes a book, if they write a successful series of books, or they became a number one bestseller, and then they had some things that were in an audio format, they've done the work now, but they can reap the benefits of that in the future. And I know that your business model does allow for that. So, what you're doing now, in another 10 years, 15 years, you may not be working as intensely in the business, but you can still reap the benefit.
yeah. that's the beauty of it. It's royalty style income. So even now,
Mm,
I get paid over and over again for work I've done just once, and that's what I
wow.
love about it. And over a period of time, that goes bigger and bigger and bigger, so until it gets to the point where it overtakes your income that you're earning. Um,
Excellent.
yeah,
That's a succession plan. So anybody
absolutely.
listening, if you haven't got a succession plan in place, then speak to Annette about what she's doing, or if you're interested in health and well-being. I'm in a similar business model. Well, it's the same business model, to be fair, but it's just on health and well-being. But the reason why we do it is because we understand, like you said, royalty income. Very, very important. Well, Annette, it has been a wonderful conversation today. Is there anything that you wanted to leave us with?
Just, it's been really lovely talking to you, Vanessa-Mary. You're an inspirational woman yourself.
Oh,
You really,
thank you. Well, like
you,
I said, it's oh, the sound went a bit there. Didn't hear you.
I've seen you grown in the length of time that I've known you. I think we both have, haven't we, really?
Yeah,
And it's both of us. It's about what we can offer other people, to give them their choices in life. And there are so many people that are sort of stuck in a rut, and and they're a little bit too scared to take that next step. So whatever people decide to do, just take that next step, one tiny step at a time, and you'll be amazed over a period of time. It just grows and grows.
exactly. But we have to make a start. And that's why my community is the seeds community, because you got to plant the seed, but don't just plant it. Once you plant it, you've got to nurture it. You've got to look after that garden, because if you don't look after it, then you're not going to get the seedling growing. You're not going to see the next part where it's flowering. Then you're not going to see it eventually flourishing. So that's what we're wanting. Annette, you are very much, like I said, a very special woman in my life, in my community. I am so grateful, because this is what we need when we're starting out as well. Someone to say, yeah, I believe in you. I'll give that a go. And that helps to build momentum and to get us, taking those first steps as well. So how do people find you, Annette? Oh, you've got the social media. Where do you want people to contact
Right.
you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Annette Griffin, entrepreneur. You can find me on Facebook, Annette Griffin. I have my own website. I've got a mobile number. Do you want me to give my mobile number?
Well, what I'll do is I'll definitely link your website into the comment section here. I'll tag
Yeah,
your name so then they can click through. If they wanting to connect with you on LinkedIn,
yeah,
they can click through into your name and make the connection. But your website will definitely be linked.
yeah.
But Annette, thank you so much for your time today. And I don't know, am I networking with you this week? I
Yeah,
have not checked the
yeah,
list. Yeah. Okay, so you're booked in for
yeah,
this week.
yeah,
Excellent. So anybody listening between now, if you're watching the replay, but you're in the Nottingham area, we're recording this on the 16th of June, 2025. If you want to network with Annette and myself on the 18th of June in Nottingham, then please do get in contact and I will give you the information. You can meet us face to face. Why not? All right, Annette, thank you so much. You stay there. I'm just going to stop the live stream here, but thank you for your time.
you're welcome.
Okay, bye.